What's going on, YouTube? So the compact crossover segment is the most popular segment in the United States. And the Subaru Forester has long been Subaru's entry in this popular segment, which has been increasing in popularity. But what is something really big that people are looking for these days? Hybrids. That's what they're looking for. And Subaru is now adding a hybrid to the Forester model. We've been talking about it for a while, and now we have it here with us today. So let's go ahead and take a first look. Now, it might look like you have those virtual reality goggles on and you're in some type of holographic environment. No, this is just Subaru's stage here at the auto show. They have a really cool stage that this pixel ground here and sky. So we've got this totally fake environment all around us. But we're here to talk about, of course, the Forester Hybrid itself. Now, let's talk about up here in the front, first of all. This is a pretty new model for the Subaru brand. They just introduced the latest generation very recently, and the hybrid doesn't do a lot to change the overall look. You'll notice up here in the front, you still got that signature Subaru grille. It's going to be finished in a gloss black, and we also have the silver trim that runs across the front. The grille itself is a little bit boxier than previous generations. You also will notice, of course, we have our LED headlights. These are projector LED headlights with our daytime running light right there across the top. And then something that a lot of rivals are getting rid of, LED fog lights are on board. Now moving on to our wheels, we've got a 19-inch alloy design on board. As you can see, we've got nice contrast spokes with a little bit of a gray finish. And I do want to point out, I think this is big for the Forester Hybrid, is the fact that the hybrid system is available on pretty much every single trim level of the Forester. Which does give you a lot of different price points and designs that you can get and still keep the hybrid system. Now, one of the only ways that you will know you have the hybrid is by the hybrid badge right here on the door trim. And in terms of our mirrors, of course, as we expect, most models are going to have heating and standard blind spot monitoring.
Now at the side of the Forester, you're going to see your typical Subaru Forester design. It's the same length, of course. The hybrid system is not going to affect anything like that. However, it does affect a very major design element here at the side, and you're probably already noticing that. We have a two-tone roof. As you can see, we've opted for the blacked out roof option. That's available only here on the Forester Hybrid Touring trim level. So if you get that fully loaded hybridized Forester, you can get that two-tone roof. I think it looks really good. It spices up the overall design quite a lot. Now, as we head around to the rear design, you are going to find your typical Subaru look going on back here. That's going to include a spoiler up top. You also have a wiper as well. Your taillights are going to be the same as any other Forester, so you have a partially LED setup with an LED brake light, some accenting across the sides, and you are going to have an incandescent turn signal, but you will have an LED reverse light. As we drop down to the lower fascia, I am noticing that you actually do retain an exhaust outlet on the right side, even though this is the hybrid model. We don't have official numbers for towing just yet. Now, as far as your safety systems are concerned, Subaru is really good about including every one of those as standard equipment. That's going to continue for this Forester Hybrid as expected, so even things like adaptive cruise control will be standard equipment. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the inside because there's some stuff you'll want to see in there. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then, we've reviewed over 2,000 cars at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from our long-term vehicle videos to our side-by-side comparisons, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars. All right, now let's go ahead and get to the inside. Of course, most models are going to come with smart entry. And taking a look at the interior. This is a new model, so already it has, kind of the latest design language from the Subaru lineup, but there is a nice technology upgrade, which I will tell you about in just a moment. But first, let's talk about the seats. So as you can see, we've got a leather seat on board. This is actually a kind of multi-material seat, so you have the perforated leather that runs through the center section. We have suede inserts that run down the bolsters, and then you have some color contrast stitching. overall, looks quite nice here on this touring hybrid. The seats themselves are going to be 10 ways of power adjusting, and you have two-way lumbar support, as well as memory seats located right there. And a pretty cool pattern down here on the bottom of the door trim I am noticing. But without further ado, let's go ahead and climb inside. Now let's look around at the rest of the cabin materials. You'll notice that the door trim does have this nice and durable kind of rubber texture going on through here. It's nicely padded. And then you've got the suede insert and then more of that material through there. Piano black around the door trim, soft touch plastic along the top. Moving to the upper dashboard, this is a padded plastic. We have leatherette through here with this nice kind of diamond texture going on through the middle. And then as we move through the center tunnel, this is going to be also nicely leather wrapped and very solid feeling. Now, of course, as you can tell, we are at an auto show, so I'm going to be somewhat limited on being able to show you the technology. But let's see if I can get a little something to pull up here. All right, so when I press that and I get this warning of access key not detected, this is a great demonstration of a new thing we have on the Forester Hybrid. And that's that all hybrids get a 12.3-inch full digital gauge cluster. So this is a really, big advancement, I think. A lot of people have been talking about not having a digital cluster and just having the analog gauges. Now you have the full reconfigurability. It's going to have special dedicated hybrid gauges as well. And then as we pull back to the steering wheel, this part is going to be, the same as all the other Forester models. Leather-wrapped steering wheel. It is heated, manual tilt and telescoping. You do have a dedicated EV mode button, though, over here on this side, which will just kind of lock you into EV power for a period of time with the hybrid system. Now, in terms of our interior storage, again, it's very conventional, just like the rest of the Forester lineup. Nice and large center console here, 2 cup holders, big storage cubby in the front, which is also a wireless phone charging pad, and then electronic parking brake with brake hold behind the conventional shifter, so no type of electronics or anything complicated with push buttons, just a traditional style shifter. You do also get the ability to have a 360 camera on your top trims. And then as we kind of bring our attention up here, you've probably seen this in other Subaru models, I would say, but you have over an 11-inch display on board. This is going to be the Starlink infotainment system, just like you expect for the Subaru brand, with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, of course. Your climate controls are inside the bottom part, but you have physical controls here to make your adjustments. You also have physical controls for the audio system. So this has a Harman Kardon sound system. We have sampled this system out before in the past, and they've done a really excellent job of tuning it. It's one of the better sound systems, we think, in the entire segment. Finally, as we kind of move to the top portion here, I'm noticing we've got an auto-dimming mirror, but also a smart camera mirror. It's not working right now on this prototype model, but obviously that's going to cut out those back obstructions with a live camera feed. And then up at the top, one of my longtime favorite features about the Forester is the fact that they give you this panoramic style sunroof on pretty much every single trim level, and the whole thing does open up.
All right, so let's discuss the rear seat area of this Forester Hybrid. Now, I feel very at home back here, and the reason for that is because, well, it's just like any other Forester. It really doesn't change the back seat at all. And I do want to remind you, we are, of course, at an auto show, very limited time frame with the vehicle, so I can't get into all the numbers and figures and measuring tapes and stuff that I normally use. Stay tuned. A more detailed review will be coming later on. And also, we do have more detailed Forester reviews if you'd like to just go ahead and check those out on the non-hybridized models. Now, I'm 5'9", plenty of space with the seat adjusted to Drew. Also, these seats do have the ability to recline as well, so that's certainly a nice thing that the Forester includes. Additionally, in the center section, we have vents on this model, as well as 2 USB ports, a USB-C and a port, and at least here on the Forester Touring, we're also going to have heated back seats, so that's certainly a very nice feature. 2 cup holders and the center armrest. Then over on the door trim, it's going to be nicely done. It is going to be hard touch on the upper part, but we have a leatherette and cloth combo in the middle. overall, it's a really nice rear seat, and I think you definitely will appreciate the space. Now walking up to the cargo department in this Forester Hybrid, as you can see, we do have a power tailgate. We also do have foot activation as well. And as far as this area is concerned, we're going to have a good amount of space. The Subaru Forester is one of the larger options in this compact SUV segment. And for the hybrid model, I will confirm this later on in a text box, but I do believe that it's not going to reduce your cargo capacity at all, if maybe just a tiny bit, because there is tons of space back here. So overall, very pleased with the amount of practicality in this Forester. And by the way, if you want to know where this Forester is strong compared to some of those other compact SUVs I was mentioning, be sure to go to carconfections.com/vehicle rankings, and that's going to allow you to look at all of these compact SUVs on our website, and you'll also be able to sort them based on the thing that matters most to you, such as technology, powertrain, features, as well as things like cargo capacity. Now, as far as features back here in the cargo department, the seats do fold 60-40 split. We also have nice little handles over here to electronically release the second row. And then if we lift up the cargo floor, we are not going to find a spare tire or any additional storage. That's actually going to be where the battery pack is located for this new Forester Hybrid.
Now, when the Forester first debuted for the new generation, they said that they were going to add a hybrid system at that time, and they were going to be using some componentry from Toyota. Well, that, of course, has proven to be true, but now we actually know kind of the implementation of what is actually going on with this hybrid system. Subaru has totally put their own spin on this hybrid because while it does use some Toyota componentry, it is also keeping symmetrical all-wheel drive on board as well. So this uses their 2.5-liter Boxer 4-cylinder engine plus Toyota's battery pack componentry. Total system power is 194 horsepower, which is a nice step up from the standard gas-powered model that has been out so far. Also, you're going to notice that torque is probably going to come on nice and fast, which will help you give a better 0 to 60, most likely when we finally get to take this out on the road. So be sure to stay tuned to the channel because we will be doing that pretty soon, hopefully, because this model is expected to go on sale in just a few months. Now, in terms of the transmission, you have an eCVT, as I mentioned, standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, and our combined fuel economy is projected to be 35 MPG.
And let's talk pricing for the Forester Hybrid. We do actually have that information available to us, so we don't have to sit here and guess. It starts at the premium grade, which is $34,995, so under $35,000 for a Forester Hybrid as a starting point. The Sport is a little under $38,000, the Limited $39,400, and then this fully loaded Touring $41,695. So certainly not much of a price premium for choosing the Hybrid. I think I certainly would choose this, and of course we do look forward to driving this later on so we can confirm that decision. Now, if you're looking to buy a Subaru Forester Hybrid or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. The reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. It can help the dealers start competing on price. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. And guys, that wraps up our first look review of this all-new 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid. We are, of course, very excited to spend some more time with this model, hopefully very soon, so stay tuned to the channel for that, as Drew almost falls down the stairs there. I'm glad he was able to stay up. Now, that's going to conclude this video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching. If you did, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you're going to get the latest car reviews such as this, and you're also going to be a part of our Car Confections family. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.